Hey everyone, Morgan here. So I get asked all the time, what if I eat all organic, or what if I eat, only fresh stuff? And that's fine. If that's how, you and your family eat, you only eat, fresh and local, that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with any way that you want to eat. Canned foods are really not that bad. A lot of people think that all processed food is bad. Just because it's canned doesn't mean it's bad. When you can that at home, it's processed. That is technically processing something, you know what I mean? When you dehydrate or freeze dry, that is processing something. And none of those methods are bad. Now, when you can things yourself, of course, you know what's in there, right? Like you're not, wondering, well, this can says it's only peas and maybe some salt or whatever, but is it really, kind of thing, So when you can things yourself, you really know. When you dehydrate and freeze dry yourself, you know where the food came from, generally, and then what went into, that. Like if you're just gonna freeze dry, or dehydrate some food from your from the frozen section of your store. Maybe you don't know exactly where the food came from, but like if you got it from your garden, of course you know where it came from. Now, if you are a family, again, that eats like all organic and all, fresh produce and everything like that, or, fresh meats, fresh produce, all this, well, there's a couple things you have to keep in mind. And if you want to continue that lifestyle, first of all, grow your own garden, right? I think it's imperative that if you eat fresh, all the time, why aren't you growing a garden? I mean, grow a garden. It doesn't have to be an outdoor garden. It can be a container garden like this. We have a container garden. It can be, a tower garden. It can be an indoor garden. It could be a hydroponic garden. There's so many ways to garden, right? So I've said this a lot, but if you can't grow a garden for whatever purpose, even let's say you're just doing like a little indoor gardening or something, but you want more, right? You can look for a community garden. And then if there isn't a community garden in your area, maybe you can start one up like at your local church or school or something like that. Like talk to people, okay? So community gardens are great. And also local. Search local. You're gonna have to find local farms. You're gonna have to find, just your maybe local neighbors that are producing things that you can still get fresh from them. Fresh eggs, fresh dairy, and then fresh produce. You can join a local CSA, and you can get local produce from them, right? So you can get the local produce, whether it's from your garden, a community garden, or from a local farm. And then, and also not just produce, but meat as well. You can get that local meat, buy a local cow or half a cow, or, go in with some family or friends or something like that if you can't afford the whole thing yourself. CSAs are usually pretty cheap. You can get produce, and not usually, but a lot of CSAs will also offer like extras, like they might have, hey, add on this egg, hey, add on this, raw milk, hey, add on all this stuff. Because they work with other farms and people that produce this stuff that maybe they don't or something. So, go to your local farmer's market or just search online, say, hey, local farms, blah, 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 berry picking, apple picking, all these things from your local farms outside of the produce, for berries and pumpkins or whatever else, right? There's lots of berry picking and stuff like that. And then the last one is going to be, hunting and foraging for your own food. Every single time I say this, there's always somebody in the comments who, dang squirrel, that is a big squirrel. Okay. There's always somebody in the comments who are saying, that's not a sustainable source. Well, it is sustainable. Especially if you can start producing some of your own things. So like if you have the ability to produce and breed your own chickens, that's great. If you can make a little pond in your own backyard and get fish in it so they can breed and you can always have fish there, that's great. You can also hunt small game, large game, you can fish, the local sources around as well. But there's always an airplane whenever you do. And also understand that a lot of the organic stuff actually does not store very well. So like our organic flour, that kind of thing, it doesn't store too well. And also make sure that you are learning to forage for food, foraging for the berries. I just found persimmon the other day is ripening, and prickly pear, and we have cactus, and there's mesquite beans. And these things aren't going to be like full sources of food, but they will supplement. They will be like side dishes. There's wild lettuce and all these things, lots of herbs around. there's all these things for us to eat, but we have to learn how to forage and stuff like that. So I think whatever lifestyle you've chosen, I don't ever claim to be some sort of organic channel. I'm far from it. I am not a nutritional channel. I'm not like a health food channel or anything like that. But if you've chosen, to really focus and make sure that you're eating the healthiest foods possible, that's fine. And that's something that you're going to have to prep for. You have to prep that garden. You have to know your local sources. But in addition, I think we should all generally know our local farmers. We should all know our local community gardens. We should all be gardening. We should all be doing these things. I think there's balance, right? There's balance in everything we do. Like as preppers, it kind of seems like we're eating these very unhealthy things. But, it's all about moderation and balance. And you know what? When you're really, really hungry, you're going to be eating some stuff, but that's only the stuff that you're going to be storing. That's only the stuff that you're going to have. That's the plans that you have in place. My plan is to continue to eat, organic and fresh as much as I possibly can. I'm going to can my own stuff. I'm going to dehydrate my own stuff. I'm going to garden. I'm going to try to garden year round with a greenhouse or indoors, all these things. That is your plan. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.